Thank you so much for having us. Being here on the In Contact show, I'm speechless, and I never get speechless.
Well, thank you for having us. We're certainly excited to be a part of such a show, and hopefully your viewers will get something out of our dialogue
Yes,
tonight.
definitely. I want to jump straight into how exciting was today. Just, just tell us.
This whole conference is exciting, so especially that we're here in the home of civil rights, the birthplace, if you
Right.
will. But today was extremely important, on the heels of a statement made by our commander-in-chief. And today we were able to address him kind of officially with somebody from his cabinet. We had a significant visit from Jeff Sessions, our Attorney General, and he's, part of President Trump's cabinet.
Right.
And to be able to express our concerns with the criminal justice system as a whole, but certainly the comments that it's okay to inflict punishment on inmates or suspects,
Right.
it concerns us,
Yes.
certainly.
Definitely. Was there anything that you took from it? Was he? Did he receive this? Did you feel he
Well,
came
yeah.
out here and?
I took a lot from it.
Yeah.
One of the things that, again, it disturbed me, but I'll say this, the comments disturbed me, but it was the reaction from those who heard the comments that disturbed me more.
Right.
In that the officers who stood behind the
Right.
president when the statement was being made, they applauded it.
Yeah.
And so to me, that was an unofficial endorsement that what he said was okay, and it's not okay.
Exactly.
And so today, when we challenged the Attorney General about those comments, he said that the president was making a joke, and
Making
I
a
made
joke.
it very clear it wasn't funny, and we're not laughing.
That's
and
right.
We're not going to laugh. We're never going to laugh when you're inflicting punishment to anybody, people of color or any, because one of our desires and our missions, we administer justice across the board equally and
Right.
fairly, and we're going to make sure that that happens in
Right.
every community that we can get involved in.
Exactly. So let me ask you: when he did say with a straight face that he was making a joke, was this joke okay? Did it seem like, well, it was just a joke, you guys?
No, it wasn't, and I think he was really trying to defend the
Okay.
president. I
Okay.
don't really think he thought it was a joke.
Right.
And he actually said basically that the president is not a law enforcement practitioner and he's not an attorney, so he wouldn't understand the ramifications of a statement like
Right.
that. So, regardless, history has shown since this president has come into office that he's going to make statements that
Yeah.
most of us probably won't agree with.
Right.
And we can't get so caught up on the statement, but the effects of the statement is what
Exactly.
our concerns are. So that's where we are
Yes.
with that.
Talk to me about the vision, your vision. You're the incoming president. Tell me about your vision for Noble.
Well, my vision is simple. We had we got an enjoyed comfort with having President Obama in office before last year when we had 8 great years, if you will, some significant changes toward our mission because he instituted a task force to examine police practices across the country, and it resulted in the 21st century policing recommendations. And we felt that that's a clear blueprint for any agency to do it the right way.
Right.
Engagement with communities, technology, all those kinds of things are very pertinent in policing today.
Right.
And so, for me, it's real clear that we don't have those kinds of relationships with the White House right now.
No.
And, we can't rely on those right now. So we have to do what we do best, and that's get out in the fields and kind of serve our people the best way we can.
Right.
And I think you will see a lot of service projects with Noble. We're very familiar with service projects. We had one of the largest service projects in the state's history last year with the Convoy of Care when
Right.
we collected donations and took them down to Baton Rouge, Louisiana. And right now, one of the first items on my plate for a service project is a small community just south of Atlanta that's plagued with drug dealers and social and economic issues. And they have a structure there that I'm determined to make an after-school program and a gym recreation center for this community that doesn't have the resources that the city of Atlanta, DeKalb, Clayton, and some of the metro counties have. And so we have to look out in the vineyards and figure out where our need is most.
Right.
We're going to do our very, very best to continue to educate our people on how to deal effectively with law enforcement. We've got a program called The Law in Your Community that just is outstanding. We got it in all our 60 chapters around the country, and where we sit down with young men and women, and particularly black men from 15 to 24, and we tell them how to engage in an encounter with law enforcement.
That is awesome.
And the biggest piece, if I can sum it up, would be you can't have court on the side of the road.
Right.
You know, and there's processes. You know, we teach them how to follow instructions. You know, I grew up in a yes ma'am, no ma'am era.
Exactly.
And I understand that our communication
Yeah.
is poor when it comes to relating to our young people today. So we got a whole lot of stuff. There's a lot of work to be done.
Yeah.
So we can't worry about what's going on in the White House and rely on those kinds of things anymore. We've just got to go out, and if we're committed to doing God's will, it's going to happen.
It will happen.
It's going to happen.
You have so much going on with this. What is next for you?
Well,
As if that wasn't enough.
I tell you, I'm just going to let God order my steps.
Right.
And that's how I'm moved in a lot of ways. You know, when I woke up that morning before we did the convoy of care, it was because I knew of folk down in that area, that Baton Rouge, Gulf Coast area, that had been affected. And I said, we got to
They
do
need it,
something.
exactly.
And I know that it was just God who gave me that vision,
Right.
and I credit him for that. And it was a good group of people who collectively helped to make that happen.
Right.
It wasn't just about me, and it's never about me. It's about doing what we need to do for our community. Yeah, so I think Noble we're in a good spot. We're definitely in a unique spot because we're black and we're law enforcement.
Exactly.
So, you know, when the things happen in the communities, they hurt us doubly because,
Right.
you know, one, we got to figure out what side we're going to take with it and how we're going to best approach it. The laws will prohibit us from getting out here protesting, and our oath of offices will prohibit us from going out here for protesting, but we certainly know right from wrong.
Exactly.
And we you know, and we advocate for what's right. That's the bottom line.
I want to let you know how inspired I am. This convention, from top to bottom, this is something that is on another level.
Yes, we've had some state-of-the-art training here this week, and I'm so moved by what we've done here. I've got one more, my next location, we have what we call a CEO symposium. That's where all the chiefs will just get together and kind of hash it out.
Right.
And I'm committed to taking that to Birmingham in February. And our reason behind that is because in '76, when Noble was founded, we were facing some of the same issues that we're facing today.
Wow.
If you look at the opioid problems going on in the communities with drugs in '76, where that was just before the crack epidemic came out. And so crime in some parts of our country is on a uprise, and so we've got to go back. And so in my mind, my vision is that if we go to Birmingham, and we're already here in the Civil Rights Home, but if we go to Birmingham and revisit some of those really horror stories of Dexter Avenue Baptist Church, and, you know, talk about the Selma March and those kinds of things, and really dig into where we come from and where we are today. There's a lot of similarities, and we will not get caught up in you know, we've arrived, because we have not arrived.
Right.
By long ways. We have not arrived. So.
But we're on track, and I'm telling you, these are the events that make me feel as if we're going in the right direction.
We got to. We can't give up on our
Right.
communities, and we can't depend on others to do it.
What we
We
need
have
to
to
do for
write our
ourselves.
own narratives.
Exactly.
That's bottom line.
That's the bottom line.
That's
I
where
want to
we're
thank
at.
you, President Cox, for your service.
Thank you. Thank
And
you.
Here at In Contact, I don't know how you're even going to move away from your TV, but we have so much more. Stay in tune. Be informed. Be in contact.
Atlanta Association of Black Journalists and the In Contact Show are the proud sponsors of the National Organization of Black Law Enforcement Executives. Please visit them on their website at www.noblenational.org.
Be informed, you gotta know what's going on in our community.